Hey guys, CryptoDad here again, and welcome to the live Q&A from LA every Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks for joining me. Let's get moving. Hey guys, CryptoDad here again, and welcome to the live Q. Sorry about that. I was playing the video. There's when I do these live streams, so the first time I did it, somehow I had my video open, and it took me a little while to wrap my head around that there's about a 3 or 4 second delay from when I speak to when the video actually gets broadcast. So it's a little disconcerting, so I have to turn that off. So welcome everybody. Shahid, thank you for joining me once again, right on time. Paul G from Poland. KP Weed, hello. Cal Gapo, hello. And Parlay Cross, hello. I just want to say that last week I watched my live stream after I had done the recording. I don't know if it was that night or the next morning. And as I was watching the video, I noticed the comments scrolling along the side, and I realized that I had missed quite a few questions. So I'm going to try to keep an eye on the feed tonight so that I don't miss anything. So let's get going with the news. I'm going to close this. We'll go over to the web browser. Okay. So the headlines. Well, we just had proof of keys yesterday, and I did do a few videos on proof of keys yesterday. I'm sorry, last week. I did one for Bitcoin and I did one for Ethereum, showing exactly what that means to move your private keys, move your cryptocurrency to a wallet where you control your own private key. So I posted those videos, and we appeared to survive. I was wondering if anything weird would happen, and I was perusing through the headlines just now, and I didn't see anything about any exchanges that had to fold or because basically what the proof of keys movement is very similar to a bank run on a bank, where everybody decides to withdraw their money all at the same time. Normal banks would not survive that because they are using fractional reserve banking, and they only need to have about 1/10 of the cash on hand that they have loaned out. So they're never really enough. There's never enough cash at a bank to cover all of the accounts. So if everybody that had money deposited in any given bank ran to that bank at the same time, they would fold. That's called a bank run. And so that's pretty much what we were attempting to do yesterday. But I'm assuming that not everybody that had cryptocurrency on exchanges actually understood what this was about or was even willing to do it. But a lot of people in the community, including myself, showed some people how to do it, and hopefully a lot of people tried to move their coins off exchanges into their own wallets. But we didn't have complete chaos. Nothing. The world is still here. The cryptocurrencies are still running. The only thing that I came across was a tweet by Crypto Bitcoin Chris saying that Bitfinex had froze trading for 17 minutes. Now, there were some people that were claiming that their accounts were frozen leading up to proof of keys movement, like on the 1st or the 2nd. But I believe, and I don't know if it was Bitfinex or BitThumb or some other exchange, they denied that that was the reason that the accounts were being frozen. They claim that accounts get frozen on a regular basis for a number of reasons, and they weren't freezing the accounts because of the proof of keys movement. So anyway, I'm glad we all survived that. I'll get to that one in a minute. I think that's pretty cool. Really the big news right now is that there isn't a lot of news. As you can see, the markets are a little bit up right now. They've been kind of moving sideways this week. Not much of a change since last week, actually. I believe that's right about where Bitcoin was last week, too. So there's a hard fork of Ethereum coming up, I believe this month. I'm not sure the exact date of the Ethereum hard fork and whether or not that's going to spawn off a new cryptocurrency or not. It's a little confusing the way they do these things, but we'll see, right? So that's kind of the big news right now in crypto. And we're all kind of waiting for January. You know, the BAKT company is, you know, going to go live at some point. The last I heard, they were considering delaying the launch. I believe the launch is set for the end of the month, and they may not be able to do it pending approval of all of what they've got going. A Bitcoin futures market where Bitcoin is physically settled, which means that they need to, anybody that buys a contract will end up needing to take delivery of said Bitcoin at some point. So this is supposed to be a big impetus to the, you know, the adoption and the price of Bitcoin and everything else. So we're just kind of in a holding pattern right now. Let me pause to look at if there's anybody. Not only, okay, Forex Shark, not only did exchanges survive, it didn't even affect the price. I follow the guys who started the event, and they believe they started promoting it a bit too close to the date. It was good regardless. And I kind of agree with that. I didn't hear about it until maybe just about last week. I did, that was my focus last week. But I really didn't have much time to get prepared, you know. And I did a couple of videos, and I was thinking maybe doing more for different cryptocurrencies, and I just really didn't have the time. So maybe that's true. Maybe they could have spent more time promoting it. But I believe it's going to be a yearly thing. So maybe as you know, as the years wear on, it'll become more of a an event, right? Maybe. And I think there were some claims I heard in my comment section that they believe that exchanges are doing, oh, what's the word for it? Leveraged trading. In other words, they're selling said Bitcoin more than they actually have. Like a bank lends out more than it has. And although I don't know, you know, there's no big full regulation on exchanges, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency exchanges yet. So whether or not they're allowed to do that or not, I don't know if that's covered yet. Banks have certain rules they have to follow. Although some people claim that's legalized fraud anyway, because a 10-to-1 ratio is pretty shaky when you think about it. But anyway, I heard in my comments that you know, people are worried that exchanges are leveraging. And maybe when these big, like Fidelity and Goldman Sachs and all these other people are going to start offering Bitcoin-based products or Bitcoin itself on their platforms, then that might be a danger. That they start to think, wow, I can start leveraging this just like I leverage money. So maybe as the years wear on, this might be more of an event. It might even be illegal at some point to take your money off. Who knows? We'll see. Let me look here. Another ETH fork, ETCV. Okay, so a new cryptocurrency will be created. And so I think I got an email from one of my cryptocurrency exchanges that I don't use very often that told me they would support the EOS, pardon me, the Ethereum hard fork, and that they would, you know, that it was, they recommended that I put all my ETH on their exchange, you know, so that I would get rewarded from the split. Yeah, that's Fork Shark Forex Shark is advising Amsterdam Holland that he should take all his coins off exchanges if you're not actively trading them. And if you've follow my channel and watched my videos, that's pretty much what I demo in almost every scenario. I've got so many videos on like how to buy X, right? Whether it's Bitcoin, Litecoin, Cardano, whatever it is, I always show you step by step how to buy it, and then how to move it to your own wallet. And it's generally the Ledger Nano S, because I have one and I believe in it. But sometimes I show you how to move them into desktop wallets, or sometimes paper wallets, whatever. But that's the the focus of my what I show to people. What I try to show is buying it and then putting it in your own wallet. That's the way I do it. I do leave some on exchanges if I feel like maybe I might want to trade at some point in the near future. But for general day-to-day storage, I put it in my own wallet. Ont wallet and integrating on the Ont ONT. Oh, someone's talking about Constantinople. Oh, okay. Some are saying that MyEther wallet will support the Ethereum fork when it arrives on the 14th or 11th, pardon me. That's our date. And now I know that the Ledger Nano S supported the Bitcoin Cash hard fork when it occurred last year. And, they may not support it right away, but they usually will give you some kind of mechanism for claiming your forked cryptocurrency. Before I go too far, I wanted to give you a little conspiracy theory. And the reason I find this story interesting is because it involves hacking and cryptography. So kind of try to stay with me. But there was a story, and I believe the story was a day or two ago, that some hackers called the Dark Overlord had hacked into some a U.S. law firm's files, and they were threatening this firm with they wanted a ransom paid in Bitcoin, so to keep them from releasing these files to the public domain. And they're embarrassing. I don't know, embarrassing, or they expose criminality. I don't know exactly what's in these files, but the story is that they've hacked this law firm, and they have files related to Hiscox, an insurance company, and Lloyd's of London. So basically, it's not so much what they have; it's the process of what's going on here. These files have been found and hacked and downloaded, and now they're threatening to release the files to the public domain, and they want Bitcoin in exchange. So, but the interesting thing is that they've already posted the archive and linked to it, and they said, okay, if you want this archive, take it now. But if you're interested, if you're involved, it's funny. If you're involved, give us money, and we won't release the stuff related to you, right? Or if you're like the Chinese or the Russians or whoever is interested in these files, then they'll accept payment and release. What they're going to do is give them the encryption keys, right, to unlock this file. So that's the interesting part. So I read the story, and I was kind of like, sounds interesting. But as I went through the comments, I ran across the original posting. Now, and you'll notice here, this is a PGP signed message. If you've watched my videos, you'll notice that this comes up quite a bit when I talk about software verification, cryptographic software verification. And they've got a hash here. And so this is a tag, And then it goes down and it basically explains. This is directly from them, right? They're explaining who they are, what they've done, blah, 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 blah. And link to a few articles to sort of legitimize themselves. A couple others, like, I don't know, I think this one where... anyway, they're basically showing their credentials that, yes, they are indeed hackers and they have hacked people and whatnot and demanded ransoms in the past and whatnot. They go on. And then they go down. Let me see if I can find it. They go down. It's quite long if you're interested. I can link the article, but the comment is hard to find because the comments are a few days old. And hopefully I don't close this damn thing. Yeah, this comment was hard to find. Okay, so they give you a link here to a torrent file, right? And you have to download the torrent file, and then you need a torrent client like BitTorrent or Views to actually download the archive. And once you download the archive, that is encrypted, right? And then they're going to give you their PGP key, which begins here. You'll see this looks like a bunch of gobbledygook. So you can contact them with an encrypted communication, right? Because they've just given us their public key. So you can encrypt a message with their public key that only they can open, right? So I just love this cryptography stuff. And so the idea is that, and I don't know if this is anything functional here, and they've signed the message with their signature to verify that they were the ones that actually did this message. And you'll notice it's tagged at the top, right? We can get to the top here. See, it's tagged at the top and signed at the bottom. So that means that you can verify that this message was not altered in transit. Pardon me. So it's just a good lesson in cryptography and how it works. And I guess the idea is that you'll get, if you ask them, they'll give you a key, right? If you pay them, they'll give you a key. But if once they release them publicly, the first layer, they'll release the keys publicly, and anyone can go unlock like the first layer. And then each layer unlocks more sensitive documents until you get to the fifth and most final layer, where it's, you know, very, very secret stuff. So I think that's cool. I mean, it's a good demonstration of what cryptography can do and how it can be applied in the real world. And you know, all of you know that cryptocurrencies are verified and created and maintained by cryptography, advanced cryptography. You know, that's basically why we call it cryptocurrency. Anyway, sorry about all that. Oh, okay. Forex Shark knows about this. That's cool. Been following the 911 thing closely. They set up a payment structure with different goals, and when the goals are met, they will release portions of the leak with each goal. 2 goals were hit today. Interesting. So this is an ongoing story. King Cannabios says, what's the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum? Now, I told you guys I love questions that I know the answer to. Easy questions, right? So let's go to coinmarketcap.com. And CoinMarketCap lists all of the top cryptocurrencies. And the question is, what is the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum? Well, first of all, there are 2 different coins. So that's a difference, right? And they're both blockchain-based. That's a similarity. Bitcoin is primarily a digital currency, a decentralized digital currency which uses blockchain technology, which applies cryptography to a ledger, and also the transactions. And also, when Bitcoin is created by mining, which is computers and specialized ASIC hardware that are solving difficult puzzles, right? And then when they find the solution to the puzzle, the first miner that finds the solution gets rewarded, and new Bitcoin is created. And Bitcoin is primarily a currency. It's not really designed to be anything more than that. You can do a little bit other things with it, but basically it's a currency. It's digital currency. So you can buy Bitcoin, and then you can put it in your own wallet, and then at some point you can spend it if you want to, or you can hold on to it hoping that it rises in value. Now, Ethereum is also blockchain based, and it also has a currency called Ether, but it's really more than just a currency. It's a virtual machine. Ethereum is a platform where you can write programs called dApps, or decentralized apps. And one of the main, most common features or dApps that are done on Ethereum are other tokens, right? So there's a lot of tokens that are released on the Ethereum network, what we would call the ICO, or initial coin offering, and they're released. The investors have to buy Ethereum so that they can get the coin, right? That you have to have Ethereum to get the coin, and then you have that token, whatever these sub tokens may be. And there's lots of what we call ERC20 tokens out there. So that's what an ICO is. And then there are other projects which are doing something similar. I wouldn't call XRP really a virtual machine type, but EOS is one, very similar to Ethereum. Tron and Cardano are probably the two that most closely mirror what Ethereum is doing. They're releasing sub coins on their platform. Cardano is still not really up and running yet, totally. But it has a lot of promise. Tron has just recently, within the last year, released, gone live with their blockchain, and set up. There are some dApps on the Tron network, and some coins you can get on the Tron network. So, but main difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum, there are two different coins, and Ethereum is sort of a blockchain-based ecosystem, whereas Bitcoin is more just a currency. Right. That's just putting it in the most simplest of terms. Let me see if I can find my chat window so that I can see what you guys are asking me here. Review. Okay, so Forex Shark has thrown up some keys. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Let's hit this. I'm just going to hit that, and I won't go through all this now. But so there you go. You've got some preview document, a link to some documents, and you'll need the keys to unlock these documents, unless these documents are open at this point. So fun stuff, guys, if you're into cryptocurrency and cryptography in general. Let me get back over here. All right, so Brian Johnson just asked me what I think about Tron. I think Tron is very interesting. It's a Chinese-based company, and so their website is... let's go to their network. This is their website. They're different, you know, that their mindset is different. And I'm not trying to be weird about, you know, but I've been involved with computers and a little bit of coding for many years, and I've always noticed that programs that are written by Chinese and Asians, the interface is slightly different than what a Westerner might expect, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just different. So it's pretty easy to tell when you're dealing with programs that have been written by Asian programmers as opposed to Western programmers. Not always, black and white or anything, but there's just... So, for example, like the Tron website is constantly... They tend to put coding first, right? And they're constantly updating the interface. So, like, I've done a few Tron videos, and then I go back and watch them, and then I go onto the Tron website or their D-apps or whatever, and things have already changed, since the last time. So they're constantly updating. So that can be a little disconcerting. But I like Tron. I think that they're an active development project, right? They're always coming up with something new. A lot of new things lately. So their price really hasn't reflected that much. Because the market is kind of down right now in general. So, I believe Tron was, I'm not sure what it's, I'm on the wrong browser here, sorry. I'm not sure what its all-time high, so let's check it out. Looks like Tron's all-time high was 25 cents. Wow. That's pretty cool. I was thinking it was around 8 cents. But at some point, Tron was, 25 cents. So pretty decent. It's like it's about 2 cents right now, currently. So it's cheap, I guess, if you're, if you want to invest in something that might grow in the future. But, things could go sideways on them. We don't know. They could run into bugs and get a bad reputation. But as it stands right now, I think they've got a pretty good rep in the community. I think there were some high-profile... I think the guy that Stellar, that founded Stellar, badmouthed Tron. Let's see if I can find the article. Yeah. Tron is just garbage. Stellar will fail. Founders Fight Club, right? So that's Justin's son. And then I guess this is Jeb McCaleb, who was a co-founder of Stellar and Ripple. And he said that Tron was garbage, right? And then I guess Justin's son came back and defended Tron and said that Stellar will fail. I guess something like that. So there's a little back and forth. Stellar and Tron are both, pretty decent cryptocurrencies. They're in the top 10. So there's going to be some rivalry, yeah. So yeah, we've got Stellar as number 6, Tron as number 10. Interesting. All right, so Forex says he's already decrypted those files that he provided in the mega link. So that's interesting. Very nice. Which Tron account is best? I have Tron in Binance and want to move it to a desktop wallet. Thank you. Well, there's a couple of ways to store Tron. You can store Tron on a Ledger Nano S. Unfortunately, on the... where are we here? I guess I'm doing this... I get confused. Yeah, I'm in Chrome here. But anyway, Tron, you can... the Tron wallet, you can access Tron here. And this is the wallet here, right? So it says sign in. So they want you to sign in with Tron wallet. Okay? They don't give you any mechanism to use your Ledger Nano S on the Tron Tron Scan website. So you basically have to use this Tron Scan, Tron Link browser extension. So okay, so one way, if you want to store Tron in your own wallet, is to download the Tron Link browser extension, right? Tron Link. Let's do this. Chrome extension. Right. Is that it? There it is. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start dropping some of these links in my description for people so that they can get to them a little easier. By the way, Ledger is still running their discount winter sale. I checked before I started the stream, and they're still running that. They've got some new announcement that's coming in a few days. I'm not sure what that's all about. Looks interesting. But if you want to shop for a Ledger, you can still get it at a 30% discount. I guess just the Ledger. They did have, they did have the blue. Yeah, you can still get the blue at a discount too. So, and if you're interested in picking either one of those up, check out the link in my description. That's my affiliate link. I really appreciate everyone that's been using that affiliate link to pick up their ledgers. It's not like me selling ledgers out of the back of a truck. I'm linking you to the actual Ledger website. I'm not linking you to some, fly-by-night web guys. It's the actual, it's Ledger company website. Okay, so also if you want to use Tron, you can use your Ledger Nano S, but you need specialized software. I'm going to go back over here to this one. You need Tron Scan software. Oops. As you can see here, if you Google Tron Scan, they have some releases here. Now, I don't think, it's been a while since this guy has updated this. So I don't know if he's still developing it or what the story is. But I'm hoping that at some point Tron wallet on their Tron Scan website will allow me to open my Ledger wallet. But barring that, what you have to do, if you download the Tron Scan software, right, you can run your Tron Scan software, and that will allow you to open a Tron wallet from your Ledger, right? So I'll connect my Ledger. Enter my PIN. All right, and once I've done that, I need to go to the Tron app. So what you need to do to get that, I'll explain that too. Once you've got, where am I? I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, there we go. So we enter Tron app, and then once I've done that, let me sign out. Once I've done that, I can go to Open Wallet and use my Ledger. Right? They don't really support this on their Tron Scan website. So, but that means, right, that I have Tron stored using a private key that's on the Ledger, right? It's the most secure way to store your Tron. So in order to get the Tron app on your Ledger, you'll just have to go to the Ledger Live. Right, and you'll just go to Manager. You have to be at the home screen. right? You have to exit out of whatever app you're in, right? And then when you're at the home screen, you can enter the manager. You'll have to confirm that. And then you'll get the list of all the apps. Unfortunately, you can't put every single app on your Ledger Nano S that they have. So you have to add and remove apps. You can add and you can, let's say I put the XRP app on there and I create an XRP wallet. I can remove the XRP app if I need more room without destroying the wallet. Like right now, I've got a Vertcoin wallet that still has Vertcoin in it, but I don't have the Vertcoin app on my ledger at the moment. Right? So, and Tron is on here. I had looked at one of my previous videos, and Tron, I was telling people to use the Chrome app to find Tron, because when they first put Tron support for the Ledger out, it was only available on the Chrome app. It wasn't in the Ledger Live apps, but it is now, right? So you just go to Tron and hit install, and boom, you'll have the app, and then you can use that Tron-based private key on the Ledger for that Tron scan software. Or if you want, as I demonstrated over here, you can just install Tron Link, right? Now, when you create a wallet, a new wallet, you know, it's going to just take you through the, you know, it's going to give you your seed phrase, which you write down, which I don't want to go through all that right now, but it will set up a wallet where you control the private keys that works in your browser. And then you can transfer. You see, you'll have an address, right? A Tron address. So if you have Tron on Binance, you just go to Binance, put in that address, and do a withdrawal of your Tron, and you can store it in the wallet. All right, I'm sorry, guys. I'm talking too much. Let me read. I promised you that I would read everybody's comments tonight. When do I get my Lambo? When Tron goes to $5, we'll all buy our Lambos, right? Which Tron account is best? Okay, we talked about Tron. Yeah, Forex is letting us know that they haven't released keys for all the layers yet for that big Snowden-ish release of documents. We'll see. Oops. Dennis, thank you for the $5. I appreciate it. Always much appreciated. Pardon me. Jack Sparrow is showing some Tron-based wallets here. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He linked to the Tron website. There are lots of different wallets to choose from. Thank you, Jack Sparrow. I appreciate that. That is right. You can download. There are lots of different wallets you can choose from for Tron. The Beam mainnet is live. Beam tokens. I'll have to check into that. I don't know about Beam. I've never heard of Beam. I'm sure if I Google it, it's not going to give me anything, right? It's going to give me a wooden beam. So Beam. Oh, okay. So Beam was an ERC20 token, and now it's gone mainnet, right? I guess that's. Let me throw that in my. Doggone it. I keep flipping between my browsers here. I use Brave as my primary browser, but it it's a little flaky sometimes when I'm doing the live stream, so I control the live stream using Chrome. Like I have all the streaming stuff is open in Chrome. So sometimes I get a little confused. I'm not going to download that now because I'm streaming and it might slow the stream down. Thanks for the super chat, Dennis. I appreciate it. Does Ledger support BitConnect? I don't know. I thought BitConnect wasn't BitConnect that thing that went out of business? BitConnect. Yeah, it wasn't BitConnect. Those were those guys. They say it was a scam. I think it was kind of like a pyramid or a multi-level marketing scheme that didn't work out. I don't know that there was outright fraud involved, but it was deceptive marketing, kind of. They were, telling you, we'll deposit. They say, we'll lend your Bitcoin out to other people if you store it with us, basically. And so what you did was you had to deposit Bitcoin in their whatever to buy their BitConnect coin. But anyway, they were promising the world, and anyone with half a brain could see that, it was too good to be true. But anyway, I don't know. I like Brave I like the idea of Brave because Brave blocks ads and tracking. That's the main thing. And it also has got that built-in cryptocurrency called BAT. BAT. Is this Brave? I'm still in. Yeah. So yeah, if we go to settings over here, you've got your Brave rewards. I've got some Brave in my wallet, some BAT in my wallet. And so basically what happens is when you watch certain websites, as you can see, I read Zero Hedge quite a bit, and Reuters, and Google, and YouTube, and they will distribute my BAT that I have in my Brave browser to them, right? It's like they're getting rewarded by me for me watching them, right? That's my eyeballs. That's what my attention is given to them. And then they just give you the BAT. So it's sort of like they're priming the system, right? By just distributing their BAT for free to people that are using their browser, and then those people's attention awards BAT to others. And then if you are a content creator, then you can claim your website. So I've claimed my YouTube channel. So when people watch my YouTube channel using Brave, and those micropayments go, I can collect those. I can actually take that BAT and put it in my own wallet. The BAT that they give you in the Brave browser wallet is a one-way street. You only get it, right? You can it can be awarded to others, but you can't withdraw it personally, right? Because it's worth like $50. And the reason I have $50 worth of BAT is because I transferred some in there thinking this will be cool, and then I found out afterwards that it can't be withdrawn. So I just sort of they're always giving you a little more every month. So that's why I kind of maintain that $50. I don't mind. So that's why I like Brave. It's a new. They're trying to break out of the whole. You want to watch a website, and the website needs money, so they sell ads. So you go to your favorite website, and you have to see all these stupid ads popping up, and it's a real pain. And so Brave blocks those. They want to change the way it works. You should be the one getting paid for watching ads, right? So eventually you'll get rewarded for watching ads. But right now, all I really care about is blocking the ads and the trackers. Right up there with cloud. Oh yeah, Bitfinex, right up there with cloud mining. Ah, very interesting. So thanks for joining us today, Forex Shark. I don't believe I've ever seen you on the stream before. You need wax. Wax, wax, wax. There he goes. I don't need wax. All right. Forex Shark. 3 subscribers on your channel. That's nice. I use Atomic Wallet and it supports different coins. Highly recommended. Okay. I was thinking about doing Atomic Wallet. Oops. Oops. I can't spell it. Come on, Rex. Actually, I'm sure I've linked it at some point. All right, so Atomic Wallet is a multi-currency wallet, and I believe they have a desktop version, a Windows version, some Linux, Debian, Fedora. Those are pretty cool. So I thought maybe, why don't we try the desktop, right? Hopefully it's not going to make the stream sputter. And I'll have to be careful. I'm assuming at some point that they're gonna show me a private key. Oh, let's see. And if I can get it up and running, then maybe we can move some crypto in there. All right, now see, they do have a check hash sum, which I probably should have done before I before I ran the install. Right, here's the SHA sum, and I'm having trouble getting it to select, which is a pain. I don't know why that is. Let's maybe if I open it in my PDF, I can. No, it's not letting me select it, which is disappointing because who wants to like eyeball the thing? But okay. So basically, you'll need to check your SHA sum by browsing. I have a SHA sum checker here. I'll just browse over to the Atomic Wallet. I'll check that installer after the fact, right? So where are we? We're looking for the EXE, right? So it looks pretty good. EB30D, F9A, blah, 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 blah. All the way over here to the other side is the BED. It looks like the SHA matched, right? So that's verification. So it's always a good sign when a wallet has verification in place, right? That way, it's sort of like a guarantee. If they're willing to provide the hash or the cryptographic signature, you know that they've gone to the trouble to make sure you're getting the wallet without it being some sort of man-in-the-middle attack or whatever. But anyway, so I installed it, right? I'm going to hit new wallet, but I'm going to move it over to the side so you guys won't see my seed phrase. Okay, they want me to put in a password. I can show you that, right? Oops. All right, and I'm going to move it over to the side because I'm assuming the next screen will be a key. Yes, it is. All right, so I'm going to copy that to my clipboard. Let's see here. Oops. I'm going to drop it into, I'm just going to do this slapdash. I'm just going to drop it into a text file and save it. Over on my other screen, so you can't see what I'm doing. I'm going to hit next. And, okay, they didn't even make me verify. Okay, so they just trusted me that I wrote it down. Okay. All right. So we'll start using Atomic Wallet and see what happens. Okay. So looks like they've got a DEX. Oh, these are addresses, right? All right. So copy to clipboard. Let's move a little Bitcoin into this and see what happens. I'm always going to take a little bit of hit when I do this because of the networking fees, but why not? There's a little bit of Bitcoin on this ledger. I have more than one ledger. Pooey. So I'll just do a quick demo on how to move Bitcoin from one address to another. And we'll start with my Ledger Nano S. All right, so the first thing I need to do is get into the Bitcoin app. It's Litecoin. I don't know why I can't do this in the mirror, right? All right, so there's Bitcoin. All right, and I have more than one ledger set up in this copy of Live, but I have, you know, a meaningful names for each account so that I know which is which. So I want the Bitcoin ledger black, right? Here's the account, and there's some Bitcoin in there. Now we want to send it. Now, if you'll notice, I copied that address, let's make sure it's the Bitcoin address, by all means, right? Make sure you're using the same address as the cryptocurrency that you're interested in. Do not, be very careful. Don't send Bitcoin to a Litecoin address or something crazy like that. All right, so let's do a send to that address, right? It's got a 1 in front of it. It's like a legacy address, but that's fine. We're not going to send that much. Let me go 0.002, right? Like less than 10 bucks. And then there'll be a small network fee for that. So let's go ahead and send it. Right? And then I need to verify on the device. That's the security of the ledger, right? The ledger will not allow me to send Bitcoin out simply by a software interface. I have to verify on the device, right? And the fee, right? Small fee, right? So now let's go to our Atomic Wallet. We don't need to view it in Explorer and see how long it takes and if I get it or not, right? It's kind of interesting. So we can hang out there. And let's see, what else do they have? So they have Stellar. I think I may have a little bit of Stellar that I can send. Dennis, thank you. Oh, okay, all right. So Dennis is asking why use VPN and at the same time Google Authenticator privacy. Okay, so the VPN, we talked about VPNs last week, I think. A VPN is what's known as a virtual private network, and it's software that you install on your computer. And in many cases, what you need is an account, right? So let's take private internet access. Let's see, who else is there? Let's do NordVPN. All right, so if we go to the NordVPN website, they're going to ask us if we want to set up an account. And what you do is you'll pay a fee, right? So you're going to have to pay for an account. So you can get, you know, you can pay for 1 month, you can pay for a 2-year, you can pay for 1 year, which is $83.88 for the entire year. And then you'll have an account, right? You'll get a username and a password, and then you'll download their software, and that software can be used to access the internet, basically. What it does is it installs a virtual network adapter on your computer, which encrypts all of your internet traffic between your home and their service, right? So your ISP, your internet service provider, cannot really see what websites you're looking at, because to them it looks like you're just communicating directly with the VPN service. So it is a way to provide yourself with some privacy. All right? So you would use a VPN so that your traffic is encrypted. They're very handy when you're in a coffee shop so that people can't see your traffic. Like if you're in a coffee shop on an open Wi-Fi, hackers can basically see the information going back and forth, right? If you enter your bank username and password, they can grab that in transit. If you're using a VPN, it's all encrypted, so hackers can't see it. So it gives you more secure communication, right? So that's why you would want to use a VPN. Now, two-factor authentication or Google Authenticator is not really, you can use it in parallel with, okay? So if, for example, I wanted to log into my Binance account, I would launch my VPN, and then once I launch that VPN, I could choose one of their servers, like Iceland, or let's say Prague or London, and it looks like my IP is from London. And then from there, I could sign into Binance. There are a few of my users have brought up that they can't log into their Binance account from certain countries. I'm okay, I'm in the US, right? So I go through this song and dance. Let's see, what am I in? Yeah. Okay, I got it. All right, and now this is where it asks me for my two-factor authentication. All right, so this is where I use my Google Authenticator. So let me launch this just so you can see what I'm doing. If it works, which it does. All right, so I go launch my Google Authenticator, and I go down to my Binance, right? As you can see, there's Binance. It goes red, that means it's going to change. Right, so I want to use the most current one, 931.721, and then I get logged in. So they're sort of like two separate types of security features. Two-factor authentication will prevent hackers from logging into your account from a different device. So if someone hacks Binance or they hack somewhere and they've got your password, your username and password for your account, then they can log into your account. But if you have two-factor authentication enabled, you have to have the phone in order to get that code. So it prevents someone from hacking my account remotely, right? The only person that can get in is me, because I'm the guy that has the phone in my hand. Anyone else is going to get locked out when they hit that two-factor authentication. So two-factor authentication, Google Authenticator, that's better security on your online accounts. The VPN is better privacy for your internet communications. So they're two different things you can use to improve your overall security, but they're not really directly related to each other. Okay. Let's see what happens. Did we get our Bitcoin? Otis the Owl. Doesn't look like I got that Bitcoin yet. Might take it a minute, right? Let's go. So I should soon. Let's see. That's it. 19 blah 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 blah. And let's go here and look at that transaction. I sent it to 19CCC So I got the right address, right? It ends in LDI. Yeah. Yeah. It should get there sooner or later. It should get there. I don't worry about that too much. Right? But a lot of wallets, they'll tell you that you've got it pretty quickly. Now, it might take a while for it to confirm on the blockchain. But it might show up as a small balance and it'll just say unconfirmed. Right? I could check on the blockchain. That's right. I could go here to view and explore. And it says it's an unconfirmed transaction. Gives me the size of it. Right? And then the small fee that I paid. So you can sort of get a handle on... it came from me, from my 3C something address, my SegWit address. The Ledger Nano S supports the SegWit addresses for the Bitcoin protocol. And then it's being sent to that same address of my Atomic wallet. So, and it says that it's at this point, it's an unconfirmed transaction. All right. So it'll show up at some point. Let me refresh. Yeah, it might take a minute. We'll see. Oh, no problem, Dennis. You got it. So let's see here. And then in addition to I'm sorry, Dennis. Let's do this as well. Let's go to Tor. I want to just give you a link to my latest Tor video. Oh, boo. Ah, there we go. So that's how to use the Tor browser. And in there, I talk about VPN as well. So I'm going to put this one in the description. Tor browser. That's my video for using the Tor browser. You can put it in here too. And then I also have a video on, I better save that. Let's see here. Maybe I can get this one too. Yeah, there we go. How to set up a VPN to improve your internet privacy. So a much more careful step-by-step on how you set up a VPN. So Dennis, I would recommend that you maybe check those videos out too. You know what? I should know the answer to this, whether Brave does Tor, but I heard. Are we in Brave? Yeah, I heard that you were somehow able to open a Tor tab, but I haven't really figured that one out yet. Maybe. Oh, here we go. New private window with Tor. So you'll just go over, once you get your Brave installed, you can go over here to the hamburger menu and hit this new private window with Tor. And yeah, it looks like Brave never remembers what you do in a private window. With Tor, your browsing is also hidden from your ISP or employer, and your IP address is hidden from the sites you visit. right? So we talked about the VPN gives you privacy and Tor gives you anonymity. So if you install the Brave browser, it looks like you can actually run a Tor node from within the Brave browser. So that's pretty cool. Otherwise, you would just download the standalone Tor browser. I haven't tried out this Brave tab for Tor yet, but it looks kind of cool. Right, so I'm running Tor. Or I can exit Tor, right, and just go back to the browser. I'm not really sure what that is. There's a few things in Brave browser that are not quite done yet. They switched from the Mozilla-based browser over to the Chromium-based browser, which is what Chrome is based on. I guess it's an open source project as well. I guess they felt it had more features. But the browser, the Brave browser, is still not, you still can't sync, right? I can't sync my Brave browser to anything else. There's no way for me to sign in. Maybe the Android version works, but the sync doesn't work. It takes me to this, and I don't know what this is. It's not asking me for a username and password. So, but I believe in the idea of Brave, but it's not quite finished yet. Hey, there's our Bitcoin. So we got our $7.80 worth of Bitcoin in our Atomic wallet now. So I'm assuming that there's a private key for the wallet stored on my computer somewhere. And I have the 12-word seed phrase to restore this wallet. So that shows me that they store the private keys locally, that it's not a hot wallet or a custodial wallet where they have custody of the coins, right? That's not really, that's what we were talking about with your proof of keys movement. So you want to store coins in wallets that you control the private keys. And so far I can see Atomic Wallet appears to be, that type of wallet. It supports private keys. Now I believe that it is also a light wallet. And what light wallet means is that it doesn't download the entire blockchain to your computer. It queries servers, or it queries full nodes to get the latest transaction data. So which is a little bit more convenient, because especially this multi-currency wallet, if you downloaded all of the blockchain, full blockchains of all of these cryptocurrencies, this wallet would be rather unwieldy, right? It would be taking up a lot of space on your hard drive, and it would take quite a bit of time for everything to sync, especially on first run. But being a light wallet, you get the best of both worlds, right? You can control your private key, and you don't have to download the entire blockchain to your computer. It queries the full nodes for you. I'm not. The question is about Zcash or Monero. I tend to go for Monero simply because it just seems to be a bigger name in the privacy. Is this it? That's not it. Sorry. Yeah, it always does that to me. All right, this is Monero. I'll put a link to this in the description. If you're interested in Monero, I know more about Monero just because I've mined it before. I don't mine it right now, but I have. So I've downloaded the wallet. I've set it up. It's a very it's a very strong. What is the word I'm looking for? Well supported cryptocurrency, right? There's a lot of active development. and you know, there's a lot of people that believe in it. And as you can see here, it provides you with verification, which is a good sign, right? And it's being updated on you know, a very regular basis, right? There are some coins that are just kind of stuck in development hell. No one's developing anything, but Monero is you know, a well supported. Now, but I'm not putting down Zcash. I'm just not that familiar with it. Hang on just a sec. I don't know why. Okay, cool. Thank you. No, I don't know whose car that is. Period. I'll go out and check in a bit. I'm in the middle of something right now. I have many jobs. I've got so many jobs that people are always contacting me related to one thing or another. Responsibility sucks sometimes. Zcash has it on just about every cold storage wallet. Yeah, I think maybe Zcash is supported on the Ledger. I'm not sure. I believe I did a video on Zcash once, but I don't really own it, possess it much. I read somewhere that Monero is that 90% of Monero has been mined. So I don't know if that means circulating supply.
I'm gonna send you a message.
See if I can find that.
It might take a while to type though.
Oh, I was misspelling it. That's not gonna. Let's try that. There it is. So that's the article I saw. Over 90% of Monero's block reward has been mined. So there will be a total of 18.4 million Monero coins in circulation, and the project has mined over 90% of it. Yeah, so unless they revise their blockchain or do a hard fork or something, they're approaching their total circulation. So once they get to the total circulation, they won't mine anymore. It's a fixed supply. Bitcoin is the same, but Bitcoin won't be fully circulated until like 2140 at the rate that it's being mined. Now, for lots of cryptocurrencies, there not only is there a supply, a working supply, but there's also a large percentage or a small percentage, however you want to view it, of lost cryptocurrency or lost private keys. So there are some articles where they talk about how much Bitcoin is lost forever by people that have misplaced their seed phrases and private keys and passwords and whatnot. And I guess there's some blockchain analysis that can go through all the working Bitcoin addresses and determine that there are dead addresses that like have Bitcoin, but they're lost. So there's a certain amount of the supply that's lost forever. We'll just put it that way. And so we've got the full supply. I think in Bitcoin it's 21 million. With Monero, it's 18.4 million. And then there's that small percentage or large percentage of lost cryptocurrency that's not part of that supply, really. So, and that affects the value, right? They're deflationary currencies. There's no way to like mint more. Like the Federal Reserve can pump more money into the economy to have a certain effect on the economy, to mitigate inflation or whatever it is they're doing. Bitcoin is designed to not be manipulated by any central authority. So it's a deflationary currency, right? I guess. Or I may be wrong. Hey, Scott. Good to see you joining us. Always enjoy having you here. Yeah, so Grand Illusion is pointing out that, you know, any of these coins that we have right now, and let's just, for example, take the top 10, if they ever return to their all-time highs, then, you know, that will be a huge increase. Let's just take Litecoin, for example. Litecoin is currently $33. At its high, it was 331 US dollars. Or, I'm sorry, 313 US dollars. 331, pardon me. So if you bought Litecoin now and it returned, I'm sorry, I have to take this. Hey, what's going on? If that's, I think so, yeah, I think Felicia's expecting it. Lisa doesn't usually go through the box till the next day. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I would, my guess would be do Felicia first. Okay, cool. Okay, thanks. All right. Have a safe drive. Sorry, one of the drivers asking a question. Okay. So Ethereum too. There's probably a lot of lost Ethereum out there. Okay, and then let's look at Ethereum, right? Ethereum is currently 160, 159. It was lower than that. Last few months has been pretty bad for Ethereum. But let's look at its all-time high, 1389, right? So we're not talking about a new cryptocurrency that may or may not go to the moon. We're talking about an existing cryptocurrency that had an all-time high at one point. So there's a lot more feasibility that a cryptocurrency could return to its all-time high than there is of saying, hey, have you seen this new coin yet? It's selling for, you know, a tenth of a penny. It could be big someday. It's not been tested. It's not been proven in any way or form. Now we could, the naysayers might say that the cryptocurrency bubble of 2017 was an aberration and these coins will never return to those highs. That was some sort of monstrosity, you know. But those of us who believe in cryptocurrency would tend to believe that these coins could go back to their all-time highs and maybe even more than that. All right. So Bitcoin has, over its lifetime, has seen many highs and many lows. Let's see, where are we? Bitcoin. Let's look at that is all. What are we looking at here? Am I Bitcoin? Yeah. Oh, it's not going all the way back to 08. Right? This doesn't look right at all. Because I know Bitcoin had some highs. Year total. All. That's weird. That doesn't look right. Well, let's look here. I guess because they don't have the entire life cycle of Bitcoin. Oh, can I go further back? Maybe not. Let's try that. Will it let me do that? I don't think so. No, it won't. Anyway, Bitcoin has reached all-time highs. When I first encountered Bitcoin in 2013, it was going for around 400 per Bitcoin, but I had read that it had reached this all-time high of 1,000. And in my mind, I was kind of like, it might get back up there one day. You know, I should hang on to this Bitcoin. And not only did it get back up to the 1,000, but it reached a new high after that and then fell again, and languished for a year or so, and then slowly it came up and then shot up last year to like 20 grand, right? All-time high 19.5, right? And so there's been a bear market this year, but it has been there before. So, take what you will from that observation. All of these, like Stellar, if you look at its chart, it's currently selling for 11 cents. Its all-time high was 75. Does that make sense to me? 70 cents. It's been higher, right? That's the point. 75 cents, right? And then you get the picture, right? XRP, which is currently 35 cents, was around $3 at the end of last year, or higher, right? So anyway, I'm beating a dead horse here, aren't I? The ETH fork, I think, was January 11th is when the Ethereum fork will occur. That was mentioned earlier by someone, not me. I couldn't remember. Someone else mentioned it. Forex Shark says, I feel Bitcoin will return to previous highs, but many of the other coins, including Ethereum, will be gone in a few years. There have been some events that have occurred that have cast a cloud of doubt on Ethereum, which was last year's, what's the word I'm looking for? Everyone's favorite coin last year was Ethereum because of the ICO market. Well, there's been a lot of scrutiny and regulation and crackdown on the ICO market. A lot of it was fraud. I'm sure there was some out-and-out fraud. A lot of it was half-brain schemes, and then a lot of it was legitimate. But, it got a bad rap. And so I think that some of these other projects that we talked about, like Tron, Cardano, and EOS, may be improving on the Ethereum. Ethereum was one of the early adopters, and it got a lot of attention last year, good and bad. And so it was growing up in public, so to speak, right? So when things went wrong, everyone could see. So maybe Ethereum will clean up their act, or so to speak, weather the storm of crackdown, regulation, bad rap, not as much adoption as people thought, and move forward, or not, right? It could be the Betamax of the cryptocurrency industry, or the diapers.com of the online retail industry. So we'll see. It's always interesting. I always tell you guys that stick to the top 10 or 20. But, you can look at the top 10 or 20 from 3 or 4 years ago, and there's a lot of coins there that are not around anymore. So just because it's in the top 10 or top 20 market cap does not mean it's going to survive. But it's a better shot than maybe something that's lurking around in the the 2, 3, 400 by market cap. That's just my take. Scott Lee is well behind ETH. Yeah, it's hard to have confidence when you watch its price drop so much, but I tend to have faith in it. I still own it. I know it has a good use case. There's still a lot of ERC20 tokens out there that people have stored, and they need ETH to move them, right? You got to have gas if you want to transfer your coins from one place to another. So if you've got ERC20 tokens stored on an Ethereum address, you're going to need some Ethereum in there to move them if you want to sell them later or spend them or whatever it is you want to do with them. So yes, ETH is necessary for the ERC20 token ecosystem, right? So in that sense, I believe in Ethereum. I hope that, I hope it survives. And a lot of propaganda from EOS saying it was the ETH killer. EOS is the scam coin, right? I'm not a big fan of EOS because it's so friggin' complicated. I've tried and tried to get my EOS into an EOS wallet, but it's like they wouldn't let me create an address unless I knew somebody who was like already had an address, and I had to ask them, and it was like, what the heck, if I want to open a Bitcoin wallet, it generates a Bitcoin address and I can put my Bitcoin in there. EOS was like some weird club that I wasn't invited to. So anyway, I think that there are some wallets now that allow you to open an EOS address for free, but I sort of lost interest, right? I got so tired of trying to figure out how to put EOS in a wallet that I lost interest. I still have like 8 of them. I don't know off the top of my head. I did, like I said, get an email from one of my exchanges about the hard fork for Ethereum, saying that they were going to support it. So let's see, who was that? CoinX. CoinX told me that they would be supporting the hard fork of Ethereum. Hard fork estimate was 14th through the 18th of 2009, and that's the name of it, Constantinople. So we know CoinX. Maybe we can just Google it. Okay, Binance confirmed support. OKEX is supporting it. It would be nice if I could just get a list, but Binance is good enough for me. I have a Binance account. So right now, my Ethereum is in the Ledger wallet. I would kind of prefer to keep my ETH in my Ledger, and if I'm assuming that if it's a mainstream hard fork, that Ledger will support it at some point. They usually do. So that's kind of where I'm going to sit. But if you want it right away, maybe, and you have some ETH that you're willing to store on Binance, all you have to do is have it in your account the moment of the hard fork, and then you'll get issued the new coin. So you can just you could put it in on the 14th of January and then withdraw it on the 19th and put it back in your own wallet, and you would still be eligible. Binance would still award you whatever coin forks off of it because you had it in their account at the time of the fork. That's all you need. You can move it off after. So if you're and you want to get it as soon as possible, I would suggest putting it on an exchange that you know supports the hard fork. Free money. I hear EOS is partnering with BitConnect. That's funny. I didn't get that earlier. I think I was asking them, why are you bringing up BitConnect? I think it was a joke. Les, the perennial question that I get from a lot. So don't feel like the Lone Ranger on this question. I get a lot of people ask me this question. So the question is, if I put my coins in the Ledger Nano S, what happens if the price changes, will those coins go up in value or down in value? And the answer is yes. It's just like anything. If I have a stock, if I buy Apple stock, right, and I say, I want paper copies of my Apple stock. I don't know if they'll even do that anymore. But stock in the old days, stock was printed on certificates, and you could actually take them home and stick them in your safe, right? And let's say you did that with your Disney paper stock. Well, if the price of Disney stock goes up, you just take the paper stock back to the broker and say, I want to sell it, right? So it holds its value. It doesn't matter where it is. It's still going to be worth whatever it's worth on an exchange. So if I put my Ethereum on my Ledger Nano S and then I wait till next year and the price is doubled, then all I have to do is just move it back to the exchange and sell it for dollars, if that's what I want to do with it. So yeah. Once it doesn't hurt the price, the value of the cryptocurrency. It doesn't matter whether it's on an exchange or in your wallet, right? It'll still go up and down in value, right? And then you can always, if you want to sell it, you just move it back. But a lot of people that like day trade, they want to keep it on the exchange in case there's like a quick, massive up that they can, take advantage of right away. But, I think clearer heads prevail. If you are a long-term investor, then and the price is going up over the long haul, then you've got plenty of time to move it onto the exchange and sell it if the price goes up. Right? Better to store it in your own wallet. That's right, King Coin. He says, if I have gold coins in my pocket and the price of gold goes up, then those coins are worth more, right? You could take them anywhere that accepts gold. You could take them to a pawn shop. You could take them to a coin dealer, and they're going to check the current price of gold and say, okay, if you want to sell me this coin, here's what I can give you right now. That's the way it works. Same with crypto. Oh, hi, Kathy. You're here. Have you been lurking all night without asking a question? And then you just, out of the blue, gave me a tip. That's so nice of you. Thank you, Kathy. Kathy was here when I was figuring out what to do with that. You remember when I was trying to figure out how to add dice to my wallet? Last week, I think it was. Well, I'll use this wallet. It has the dice in it. All right, let's use this wallet. Let's go over to Tron. Let's go to the DEX. It's like they keep changing the interface. Let's go to that DEX, right? And where is that dice? Where'd that dice go? Is he? Oh, there it is. So okay, so they have dice. And do I have any dice right now? No. I tried to buy dice, and then I think I bought dice, and I was trying to figure out where it was, right? So I went up here, and I was like, where the heck is my dice? I went over to tokens, and you'll see, now I can see my dice in this wallet. And what I had to do was, I had to go to dice, right? And then I had to, they've changed it again. Here, that's it. Right, I had to take the DICE contract address. Whoops. Well, let's use a different one. And then let's do play, right? I don't have that one yet. Let's do play. I'm going to take that contract address. I'm going to copy it into my clipboard. And then I can go up here and go to tokens. And we're going to add a token. I'm going to just paste in that contract address. I'm going to hit add token, and boom. Now I can see play in my wallet. And last week I had bought some dice. I had like 100 and something dice, but I couldn't see it. All I could see were these TRC10 tokens. So that's what you have to do. It's very similar to Ethereum. It's the same way Ethereum works. You have to add the contract address into the interface to get the token to show up in your wallet. So anyway, guys, I'm going to shut it down now. I promised my family I'd take them out for dinner, and I didn't get home in time to do it before the live stream. So we're going to go out now. So thank you, everyone, for joining me. I hope I got your questions answered. Thanks for everyone. And let's do this. Don't forget, every week, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the live Q&A in LA. Please join me with any questions that you may have. I'll try to get them answered on the fly, or just join into the conversation. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click whenever I post new content. You'll be alerted. Once again, thanks for joining me, and hope to see you again soon.